Hi everybody, it is Mackintoshes back again for another video. This video is going to be a speed build of me doing Aveline's shell challenge. I love a good shell challenge. I think it's really fun, and I enjoy not building the outside of a house because that's the hardest part for me. So when I saw her post the shell challenge, I knew immediately that I wanted to do it. I think she posted it a couple weeks ago now, but I think you have till the end of the month to actually post it, so I am making a video on it, posting it. Probably won't get picked because it's really not that exciting, as in, like, it's just a base game suburban house, because that's what I like to do. I don't really care if it's not exciting, but I think it's quite fun, so I did that. The roof on this house was kind of tricky because, weird shape. I didn't build a shell, so I didn't know what to do for the roof, because usually when I build this shell, I think about the roof when I do build it, because the roof is tricky for me, at least. Didn't know what to do here. There's a lot of overlapping parts in the roof, so like if I built rooms a certain way, it would do that weird clipping thing, but I just build fake rooms, like lifted one tile into the room to make it a room, but it's not actually seen as a room by the game. But I had to do that just to forego the clipping, because that's an issue that we still have, apparently. I can't believe that's still such an issue, because it's been this long. I feel like people complain about the clipping in the roof a lot. I don't know, maybe it's difficult to do. I don't know. I don't really care. I just think it's kind of annoying in general, but if they never fix it, I mean, we got bigger problems, right? So for this house, I was going for like a traditional suburban style family home. It's a big house, so I knew it had to be a family home of sorts. This build took me about like 4 hours to do. A lot of that was doing the landscaping, not as much as normal because I didn't have to build the shell of the house, thank God. But it still took me quite a long time to build, but that's how my life is. I always take a long time to build, and that's alright. I really like the porches on this house. Like, got a nice front porch, got a nice half wraparound porch. I think that just looks really nice. There's just something about a good porch that I think looks really good. I guess it's a little more interesting than normal, I suppose. So that's why I like it. And it gives a nice place for an eating area and a grill, so then I don't have to put it in the yard, because I never know how to make that work properly. I had a real tough time picking out the windows for this house, because I didn't particularly love any of them, but I always go for the shutters, so I thought, why not keep that theme here? And then I put these tall, clear windows on the side here to get a lot of light in. I thought it would be a nice study or a sunroom or something, so I wanted a lot of windows, and it just seemed to fit, because the shutters don't really fit that well on that shape of a room. And then you can see me pick color for the outside of the house. Tried to go orange and red and tan and like every color. Then we settled on this dark blue, which I think is quite nice. I love the color blue. Everyone loves a good blue siding house, blue suburban. It'd be like that. It was really hard for me to pick trees for this house too, because it felt like none of them were quite right for me. And like in front of these lots here in Newcrest, they have those trees in the way. So then I was like, I didn't want another one of those trees. Then I kind of had to think about those trees in relations to the trees I did pick. But then we ended on these trees, a little grouped up together there. And they're nice trees. I like them. I don't use them that often, so it was good to mix it up and use something I don't use very often. Use my trusty bushes that I always use. And then just some classic plants, landscaping, like normal, nothing too wild, because it's just, a normal average build of mine. I'm not very creative, unfortunately. I wish I was more, but I'm just not, and I don't have like the attention span to spend long on a build. Like doing 4 or 5 hours on a normal suburban house is about as long as I can go, and I like to do houses in one sitting, otherwise I'll just never finish them. The other day I saw like a bunch of Star Wars builds with or without the new Star Wars pack, and just watching some of these videos, I'm just like, I could never. Like, I barely can build this like base game suburban house, and they're out here building Star Wars builds even without the Star Wars pack. I just could not believe my eyes. I wish I was like that, but I'm just not. And that's not a bad thing. Like, I have fun in building these types of houses. It would just be amazing if I had their level of creativity, you know? I just, unreal, can't even imagine it. Now for the front porch, I had a bit of trouble picking the wood that I wanted. I feel like I do a lot. I just don't know what to put, because like in front of my house is like cement, but that doesn't look cute. I don't want to put cement in my Sims house, you know? So yeah, we ended up on this color wood, which is a wood I don't use very often, so that was fun for me. You know, we love a little something different now and then. And then we get to the backyard. Nothing too wild. Basically looks like all my other backyards. Got the nice tree, got the nice bushes. Gonna add a pool and some kids' equipment and call it a day. I tried to put the pool in the corner at first because I liked the idea of it being out of the way, but then something about it looked wrong and looked weird, so then I ended up putting it like in the middle of the backyard, and that's where I left it. Put a little terrain paint around it to act as a stone, and that's about it. We add some plants and call it a day. So enough rambling about this build. There's not really much to say anyway, but you know, lately I've been saying that I've been playing The Sims 3, which I have. It's really, really fun. I love The Sims 3. I just think there's just something about it that just hits home. And right now I've got two children in my save in The Sims 3. One is a child, so it's in scouting right now, and it's learning all these skills, all these toys, making friends, about to have a slumber party one of these nights, maybe when it gets to the weekend, because it's the middle of the week right now. I can't wait till he gets to a teen, because then the after school activities for a teen are way fun, and it'll help build some skills for him. And he's got a new baby brother. By the way, my first child's name is Zeke, and the baby brother's name is Zach. Very basic names, yeah. But yeah, he's got a new baby brother, Zach, and he's about to age up into a toddler, which will be fun because, as I said before, the mother is doing the daycare career, and I think it's really helpful to have a toddler in your house when doing the daycare career, because the toddler can help entertain the children and play with them, and especially with the playpen item that I have from the store in The Sims 3, that is really helpful in entertaining the toddlers. I still need to go back and do more of the world adventures. I've gone like 4 or 5 times, but there's still much more to explore. But I might take a break on that just to focus on the daycare career and the kids, and maybe making some friends actually in the world or something. And my cats just had 2 kittens, so we got new kittens to take care of in the game. So there's a lot to do, and I kind of want to explore other careers, because right now the dad doesn't have a career. He's just been going on the world adventures while mom works at the daycare. But I might give him a job, like I mentioned before, one of the playable careers maybe. I'm not really quite sure, because he is a writer, so he's making money that way. He just doesn't have like a professional career or in-person career, because writing is professional. But you know, so I might mix it up with that. Yeah. Does anyone else really enjoy The Sims 3? I thought about doing a video on The Sims 3. I could do like a Let's Play maybe, or I could try, you know, I'm not really good with that in-person playing slash building, but I could give it a go if you really wanted to. I don't know. What are your thoughts on The Sims 3? Do you like it? Did you never play it? Do you hate it? Don't tell me if you hate it, actually. That would hurt my poor little feelings, because I love The Sims 3. She is a darling and can do no wrong. I don't know why I used to have so much trouble playing The Sims 3. Like, obviously it doesn't play as well as The Sims 4, but I've virtually had no problems playing it so far. And so I'm kind of like, I have a false sense of security right now, and like, why is this playing so well? I expect it to play terribly, but I'm glad it's playing well. But I don't trust The Sims 3. It's probably, if I played Island Paradise, the game would probably have a breakdown and then it would no longer work, which is unfortunate because I like that world. I really like the diving, and you can actually see what you're doing. It's not a rabbit hole. We love that. And I like the houseboats are quite fun. And I don't know, I just think the world's kind of fun. But, you know, I'll survive not playing it. I can make a hotel in the other worlds, right? So I mean, that's like the big thing that draws you to Island Paradise, right? Besides the world is the hotels. I'd love to have hotels in The Sims 4. Probably won't get them, but at least we have them in The Sims 3. Am I right? I just have to bank on The Sims 3 for everything because The Sims 4 is just not the same. I never played Sims 2, but everyone likes Sims 2 as well. So we'll just play other games. Although I don't know if I can get Sims 2 anymore because it's so old. But if I can, I might get it and play it. Play the old school games. I really want to enjoy the Sims 4 gameplay more. But like going back and playing the Sims 3, I just realized how lacking the Sims 4 is. And like I'll still play my 100 baby challenge now and again on the Sims 4. And what else am I doing? I have a legacy going, so I'll still play them. But it's I'd say quite a bit more fun in The Sims 3. In The Sims 4, usually when I play, I do like the baby challenge or legacy. Even the legacy kind of gets boring though. But I really like to do university in The Sims 4. I think the university pack was done really well. I like the items, I like the gameplay, and I like that you can do it at home. I think it's good fun. But yeah, I don't know what else to do with my time other than go to university, build up skills, I suppose. I guess that's a thing that you could do. I just don't know what to do. So it's kind of hard to play. Like if the kids and teens had more things to do, I think that would solve a lot of my problems because they get to teen and child age and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with you? The child is supposed to paint pictures all day long every day. The teen is like nothing special for them, you know? I don't know. I just wish they had like after school activities or slumber parties, like just a little something. A little something. Maybe we'll get them one day. I don't know though. It's been this long, so who knows what's gonna happen. Sorry, I feel like I talk about The Sims 3 versus Sims 4 a lot lately. That's just always on my mind. I need to like research what challenges people do in The Sims 4 because I really don't know what people do for gameplay besides like the 100 baby challenge and rags to riches or legacy, I guess is a challenge, I suppose. But I should research more of them because that might bring me back to The Sims 4 a little bit if I like have a fun little task or game to play, you know? And also, if you would like me to do a let's play of something, you can let me know. Rags to riches, probably, since I'm in the middle of a 100 baby challenge, so might be a little weird for me to start making videos on a challenge where I've already got like 30 of the 100 babies. But if you care to let me know, feel free. Won't bother me any. I'll read all the comments because I think you spent the time writing them. I can spend the time reading them. And it's good fun to interact with others, you know, in quarantine. We love social interaction now. Can never get enough of it. At least I can never get enough of it personally. I also might think about doing some more build challenges because those are always fun. There's always like a million of those, and it's really easy to create like a build challenge. Like, you know, that every room is a different pack. There's so many variations of those, and it keeps it open for like more ideas because it's pretty open-ended, you know. So might do some of those for something different in The Sims 4, something more exciting. But we'll see. Something fun will come. If not, I guess we'll just keep building because building's always a good time. Never get tired of building. That's one thing I do love about The Sims 4. It's really good build mode. I love build mode. And Sims 3, I built a little bit, but it wasn't my fave. I did enjoy, you know, the color wheel and picking exactly what I want, but it didn't look as nice and it was harder to build. Like especially roofing was really hard in The Sims 3. Sims 4 greatly improved on roofing, and like the foundations and building basements is a lot easier in The Sims 4. Like in The Sims 3, if you had a foundation on your house, it was always super hard to build stairs down to the basement if you had a foundation. Like I always struggled so much that I would just build like a garage on the ground floor with no foundation, and then I would build my basement in the garage because it was so much easier because you had to like make sure the foundation wasn't in the way or wouldn't let you build the stairs. You remember that? It was a mess. So that's a great improvement in The Sims 4. I do appreciate that. And there's a lot better clutter items and stuff just for building, like visually looks better, and I really enjoy that because I feel like I always use the same objects in The Sims 3, which didn't bother me at the time of playing it, but now looking back, I'm like, huh, all my houses kind of look the same. They all have the same kitchen appliances and counters, and I always use the same furniture. But I mean, it didn't matter then, because I was just playing for fun. I didn't really care about building then. But now that I care about building, it's kind of like, wow, really did that, huh? So now I've talked quite a bit about other things. You could get back to the build. I think I can focus enough on it again. So we're in the kitchen here, and the kitchen was a bit of a struggle because it was medium wall height, which I never built in, because the cabinets had a weird gap, above it. So I put these shelves above the cabinets so it looked higher up, so there was like less empty space on the walls. And I think it actually looked pretty good. I've never thought of doing this before. I've never seen somebody do this, I don't think. Or if I have, I've forgotten. And I thought it was really creative. I pat myself on the back for that one. And I ended up putting a bunch of clutter up there eventually, which was kind of tricky because hardly anything snaps to the shelves in the game, which is kind of annoying because there's some stuff that's small enough and you think it would, but it doesn't. So I just raised it up though. It wasn't that big a deal. I just had to use move objects, which I use it so much anyway, so who cares? And as long as we can use move objects, that's the main thing. Like, you couldn't use move objects at all, now that would be a real life tragedy. Could not deal with that. And in the kitchen, I also put a double oven just because I didn't know what to do with, like, the window was not centered, but then I couldn't move it because of the outside. So I just put 2 ovens in. We're just gonna pretend we're rich and fancy and bougie. Is that the word? I really don't use that word. I don't even know if I used it properly there. But yeah, we used 2 ovens. The vents kind of block the window, but I mean, below the vent, you can still see out the window. See the little kiddos playing in the backyard, or whatever parents do. I am child, or not child, I am adult. But I don't have child, so cannot relate to that one. I put, like, anything that was small enough to fit on these shelves. Some of it doesn't make sense. I think there's like a nameplate from university or something, and there's like a cookie jar up there, which would be so inconvenient to have cookies up there because you can't reach the cookies. It would have to be an empty cookie jar. Could not be cookies in there. Now I want cookies though. I just made dessert. I just made a dessert the other day. It was, I always call it a brownie, but they're technically not brownies. It's made with like a cake mix, but you don't add like the cake ingredients like the oil and the eggs. But they're very good. I enjoyed them a lot. It was like caramel, chocolate, pecans, and was that it? Yeah, and the cake mix. So it was really good. It was a Betty Crocker recipe. You know when it's Betty Crocker that it's gonna be good. She's such a legend. I had a class once where we discussed Betty Crocker for like most of the class. It was about like food culture throughout the years or whatever, and so we talked about how Betty Crocker was a legend, and everyone followed her advice, and all these women in like the 50s really looked up to Betty Crocker and the groups that they would form with other people who liked Betty Crocker, because back then women were more confined to the homes because the men were threatened by them having a life and being successful. So we learned about that. So Betty Crocker really, kind of started a revolution there. Love her for that. And, like, she just has good recipes. Betty Crocker's just good. I mean, all I know about her is she helped women come together and her food's good. That's all I know about her, but still, I love her for that. I'm really into cooking more lately, or I was until I moved back home with my parents, because then my mom cooks. But I have lots of ideas for food because I had to cook for myself for like 3 years while in school, and it's always fun to cook things, although it's a little stressful when you're cooking for others, because like if I cook something and it's terrible, I mean, I just suffer. But if you cook for other people and it sucks, and then I just feel bad. It's like, sorry that I suck at this. I have no expectations for myself. I don't care if it tastes like garbage. It's just for me. But I don't want it to taste like garbage for you, you know? But there's like a lot of things I've been cooking lately. Like there's this pineapple stir fry that I really like. The recipe calls for pork, but I usually have tofu. I really like tofu actually when it's cooked right and has the right seasonings. I used to be like weird about tofu, but then I just like tried it at my old job because they had tofu a lot, and I was like, why was I being such a weirdo? Tofu is good if you cook it right and season it. Obviously, plain tofu is trash. It's not meant to be eaten by itself with no cooking and no seasonings. Like, what? Of course it's gonna taste bad then. But once I realized that tofu can be good, I was like, hey, I love that. So I started eating more of it. And I feel like I feel lighter and better when I eat tofu. I mean, I'm not a vegetarian or vegan, but sometimes I just really want some nice tofu. Do you feel anybody else like tofu and they're not vegan or vegetarian? Or if you are, hit me up with some tofu recipes, I guess. I don't have hardly any. I mean, you could just substitute a lot of meat just for tofu and a lot of the recipes I have, I'm sure. But yeah. And then I've been cooking, what's that one thing I like? Chicken tikka masala. Found a recipe for that because I ate it at a restaurant before quarantine started and it was really good. So I always wanted to make my own, and so I did, and it tasted just as good. The really real defining point was the garam masala seasoning. That stuff is so good. And then I ate it with like pre-made naan breads, and that's not exciting. But then I made pakoras all by myself. I made them with cauliflower, spinach, potatoes, and one more thing, I think, onions. And it's like a doughy thingy, and then you fry if you don't know what a pakora is, and they're really good. It was kind of a lot of effort to cook, but they tasted really good, and I really want them again, even though I just had them a month ago. But my dad didn't like it very much, so probably won't make it again very soon, because that would be mean to cook something he doesn't like, you know? So that was really good, but my dad didn't like it, so probably won't have it for a while unless he goes somewhere by himself. But probably not because quarantine, you know? And then another thing that I cooked lately that I think is really good is called, hold on, I forget what it's called. It's like chicken Southwest pasta bake. It's pasta and Alfredo sauce and chicken and tomatoes and black beans and corn and taco seasoning all mixed together in a pan, and then you just throw it in the oven. It's not hardly any effort. All you have to do basically is cook the chicken, shred it, cook the noodles, but then you throw it in a pan and that's it. Super easy, but it's super good, and I really enjoy that a whole bunch. So those are some really nice recipes that I've been enjoying, and I've just wanted to keep eating and eating and eating, but I've got to be good and control myself, take it easy. Wow, I've talked almost through this whole video already. That's good for me because it's still quite hard for me to think of things to talk about, but I guess food got me distracted a bit. So we did the toddler room that we already missed, and then we did the child's room just there for 2 beds. So that's already 3 kids, and then there's 2 double beds in here, so really it could fit like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Sims if you so desired. So that's good. I always like it when like houses have a lot of room for Sims, because I always have a million Sims in the end. I never just have one. Like, I try sometimes, and then all of a sudden I have like 5 Sims. It's a curse. I just always want to have family and more things to do. Make it more difficult for me, you know? And I went for the green theme in here, if you can't tell. I don't know how you couldn't tell, if you can't see colors, I suppose. But, yeah, I went for the green. They're kind of mismatched, but I liked the color green, thought it was quite nice, so I kept it. I added another computer in this bedroom just to fill space. It's like the 3rd computer in the house, so you're never going to go without a computer here. With base game, I always struggle a bit when the bedrooms are too big, because there's so many things that I'm like, I wish I could use, but they're in other packs. Like the vanity table from like, what is it? That fancy pack, Vintage Glamour, I like to use. And there's just, I don't know, other things from other packs that I'm like, wish I had that. But it's fine, it's really not a big deal. It's just me having to use my brain more than I would like. So then I have to actually figure out what goes in a bedroom, some nice decorations. Like this bedroom ends up getting a chess table, because you always need a chess table, because I don't think I put one anywhere else. But yeah, I think we're coming up to the end of the video now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If not, well, thanks for watching anyway. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment something down below, and subscribe for more videos like this. I will see you all in the next video, for whatever that might be. Bye.